The all-new 2026 Toyota Grand Land Cruiser is finally here, and Toyota didn't just update a legend. They've completely redefined it. This SUV comes with features we never expected to see on a Land Cruiser, including one upgrade that puts it directly in premium luxury territory. And while everyone's talking about the bold new design, the real surprise is hidden under the skin. A change that could reshape how Americans think about full-size SUVs altogether. So the big question is, did Toyota just bring back the king, or create an entirely new one? Let's find out. The 2026 Toyota Grand Land Cruiser arrives at a moment when the full-size SUV market in the US has never been more competitive. Toyota knows this nameplate carries serious weight. Generations of Land Cruisers built their reputation on durability, dependability, and go-anywhere capability. But this time, Toyota isn't just reviving a classic. They're positioning the Grand Land Cruiser as a modern flagship designed for families, adventure seekers, and buyers who want luxury without sacrificing toughness. What makes this launch so important is how Toyota reimagined the formula. Instead of simply scaling up the previous model, they've created something that feels bigger, cleaner, and more premium, with a design that instantly stands out and cabin upgrades aimed directly at rivals like the Escalade, Wagoner, and LX. And while Toyota is keeping a few performance details close to the chest, early impressions suggest major changes under the hood and throughout the chassis. Enough, in fact, to raise the question, is this still the Land Cruiser we remember, or something built for a completely new era? In a moment, we'll break down the design, the tech, the performance, and the surprises Toyota packed into this brand new generation. The moment you walk around the 2026 Toyota Grand Land Cruiser, it's clear Toyota wanted this SUV to look like a flagship again. The front end is bold and upright, with squared-off LED headlights and a grille that feels both modern and classic Land Cruiser. The body panels are more sculpted than before, yet the overall stance screams capability. It looks wide, planted, and confident, like something built to handle both a rugged trail and a valet drop-off at a high-end hotel. Move along the side, and you'll notice the stretched proportions. The longer wheelbase not only gives it road presence but also translates into far more cabin space than previous models. Toyota wanted this generation to feel like a proper American full-size SUV, and for the first time in years, the Grand Land Cruiser truly fits the segment. Even the rear design feels cleaner and more upscale, with sleek taillights and a design language that hints at Lexus-level refinement. Inside, the transformation becomes even more dramatic. Toyota has finally brought the Land Cruiser's interior into a premium era. We're talking soft-touch materials on most major surfaces, a massive infotainment display with crisp graphics, and seating that strikes a balance between durability and comfort. The three-row layout now feels legitimately usable, with enough space for adults in the third row, something previous models struggled with. You'll also find clever storage spaces, extra USB-C ports everywhere, and a cabin layout that feels both functional and surprisingly luxurious. Technology gets a major leap forward, too. The new infotainment system is smoother and more intuitive, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto across all trims. Toyota Safety Sense is also standard, offering advanced lane centering, adaptive cruise, and improved blind spot monitoring. But what really stands out is the new off-road tech suite. Multi-terrain select, crawl control, and a 360-degree trail camera make this thing far easier to manage off-road than older Land Cruisers, which often required real skill, or at least lots of patience, to handle in difficult terrain. Now let's talk performance. Toyota hasn't just updated the engine, they've rethought it entirely. The Grand Land Cruiser now uses a modernized powertrain that delivers stronger torque, better fuel efficiency, and smoother highway cruising. Whether you're merging onto a freeway or towing a boat, the added low-end punch is noticeable. And yes, it still retains the robust ladder frame construction Land Cruiser fans expect, but with improved suspension tuning that eliminates a lot of the old model's body roll and harshness. It finally feels like a full-size SUV that can take on long road trips without tiring out the driver, but it's not perfect. Some critics are already pointing out that while the interior materials are much improved, a few plastic areas still feel out of place in a vehicle this size and price. And although the new powertrain promises better efficiency, hardcore off-road traditionalists may miss the older V8. Even if the new setup objectively performs better, still. The biggest question is the one Toyota hasn't fully answered yet. Where will pricing land? And that's important because if Toyota positions the Grand Land Cruiser too close to luxury competitors, it risks losing one of its biggest advantages, value. In the next section, we'll break down the key highlights and drawbacks, including a closer look at the real-world strengths, surprising limitations, and whether Toyota made the right compromises for this new generation, asterisk. And this is where the 2026 Toyota Grand Land Cruiser finally shows its true colors. Out on the road, and more importantly, off it, the SUV delivers the moment everyone has been waiting for. The first thing you notice is the power. The new powertrain doesn't just feel stronger on paper. It feels stronger everywhere. Tap the throttle and the Grand Land Cruiser surges forward with a confidence the old model simply never had. It's not trying to be sporty, but the extra torque gives it a sense of authority that instantly changes the driving experience. Then you hit the rough stuff, rutted dirt, steep climbs, deep sand, and this is where the surprise comes. The Grand Land Cruiser doesn't just perform well for a full-size SUV. It performs like a purpose-built off-roader. The upgraded suspension absorbs hits that would have rattled the previous generation. And the new traction systems react so quickly it almost feels like the SUV is thinking ahead of you. Even on a steep, rocky climb, the wheels claw for grip with this unshakable calmness, as if Toyota tuned it specifically to remind you why the Land Cruiser name is legendary. But the biggest turning point comes when you take it back onto pavement. For the first time in years, the Land Cruiser feels genuinely refined. The cabin stays quiet at highway speeds, the steering feels more controlled, and the ride doesn't punish you for choosing a body-on-frame SUV. It finally feels like it belongs in the same conversation as high-end competitors without pretending to be something it's not, and yet there's a twist. Push it harder through fast corners or hit a sharp dip at speed, and you're reminded that this is still a big, rugged machine with limits. It's better than ever, but not invincible. That balance between raw capability and surprising refinement is where the Grand Land Cruiser delivers its most unexpected reveal. So now the question is, does all of this make it the best full-size SUV you can buy? Or just the boldest comeback of the year? Let's break it down. After spending time with the 2026 Toyota Grand Land Cruiser, it's clear that Toyota didn't just revive a legendary name, they repositioned it for a new era. This isn't the old-school, bare-bones off-roader that relied on heritage alone. It's a modern flagship built for American families, long-distance travelers, and anyone who wants true capability wrapped in real comfort. The biggest strengths are impossible to ignore. The upgraded powertrain finally gives the Grand Land Cruiser the muscle it needed. The interior is vastly more premium and practical, and the ride quality sits in that sweet spot between rugged and refined. Add in Toyota's improved safety tech, stronger off-road systems, and a design that actually turns heads, and you have an SUV that feels ready to compete at the top of the segment again. But the drawbacks matter too. Some interior materials still fall short of luxury expectations, and depending on final pricing, Toyota risks pushing the Grand Land Cruiser into a space already dominated by flashy, high-dollar competitors. And while traditionalists may miss the old V8 personality, the new powertrain's efficiency and low-end torque will win over most modern buyers. So who is this SUV really for? It's perfect for families who want 3 rows without sacrificing adventure. It's a strong choice for buyers who prioritize reliability, capability, and long-term value over bragging rights. And it's a compelling alternative for anyone looking at expensive luxury SUVs, but wanting something with more authenticity and less pretense. In the current US market, where SUVs are getting bigger, smarter, and more premium, the 2026 Grand Land Cruiser is a reminder that you don't need to choose between toughness and comfort. And if Toyota prices it right, this could easily become one of the most influential SUV comebacks of the decade. So now it's your turn. Is the new Grand Land Cruiser worth the hype? Or did Toyota change it too much? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and tell us which car you want reviewed next.